Hello and welcome to today's handwriting lesson. This week we're looking at capital letters and lowercase. Capital letters are the nice tall letters and lowercase are the smaller ones. Today we're going to focus on B, letter name B, letter name H, K, letter name K, L, letter name L, and T, letter name T. So let's just move those off. We're going to start with B. And as you can see, B has got a boot on the back. And when we write it usually, for the small letter, you go down the laces to the heel, round the toe. Down the laces to the heel, around the toe. Let's pop that there. Let's have a go. And it touches the top line. Down the laces to the heel and around the toe. So touches the top line, down to the bottom and around about halfway. Finger space. Down the laces to the heel and around the toe. One more, finger space. Down the laces to the heel and around the toe. Now when we're doing our handwriting, only do about 3 or 4. Because if you do a whole line of them, we all get a bit tired and they might not be our very best work. Okay, so that is the lowercase letter. Now let's see what the capital letter looks like. You're going to go down, up, around and around, and that's a capital B, a B, capital. So you're going to go down, up, around and around, and try and make those two the same size. Let's do another one. Down, up, around and around. Now let's put them side by side. Start with the capital. Down, up, around and around, lowercase. Down the laces to the heel, up and around the toe. Finger space, let's try another one. Down, up, around and around. Down the laces to the heel, up and around the toe. And there we go. Try that one at home. Let's give this a rub out and let's do the next one. Is the sound, letter name H. On the back you can see we've got a horse. And when we write it, you go down the head to the hooves and over his back. Down the head to the hooves, which is a word for his feet. Down the head to his hooves and over his back. Down the head to his hooves and over his back. Let's pop that there and let's give it a go. Down his head to his hooves and over his back. And when you go over his back, it's about halfway between the two lines. So remember, start at the top, finger space. Down his head to his hooves and over his back. Down his head to his hooves and over his back. Now the capital letter H sound looks different, okay? Looks a bit like a rugby post, goalie post. Look, down, down, and across. Capital, finger space. Down, down, and across. Let's try one more. Down, down, and across. Now let's put them both together. Right, let's go for that. Let's try for the capital, which I said looks a bit like a rugby post, doesn't it? Down, down, and across. Small letter. Down his head to his hooves and over his back. And you want this bit that goes over his back. Look, it's the same height as that line that goes through the capital. Finger space. Down, down, and across. Down his head to his hooves and over his back. The letter name H, the sound it makes is, give that one a go at home. Let's give this a rub out and let's try another one. Just have a sip of coffee first. Coffee, coffee, before we teachy. Next one is the letter name. It's the K, okay? And the sound it makes is K, and we call it a kicking K. Looks like it's kicking something, doesn't it? Now this is what it might look like when we read it, but when we write it, it's slightly different. So I'm just gonna pop that there for you to look at, and I will show you what it looks like when we write it. You go down the kangaroo's body, around his tail, and down his leg. The K, the K that we do in school is looped, not the one that's separate like that, okay? The one we do in school is looped around. Finger space, let's try that again. Down the kangaroo's body, around his tail, and down his leg. Let's go again. Down the kangaroo's body, around his tail, and down his leg. Now let's show you what the capital K sound K looks like. Down, across, and across. Look at that. So it goes down, that touches the top line and touches the bottom line. Down, you could say kick the top line, kick the bottom line. That sounds good. I quite like that. Down, kick the top line, kick the bottom line. Let's put them both together, okay? Capital K and the usual small k. Down, kick the top line, kick the bottom line. Let's do this one. Remember, you loop around. Down the kangaroo's body, around his tail, and down his leg. Finger space, let's try another one. Down, kick the top line, kick the bottom line. Down the kangaroo's body, around his tail, and down his leg. It's another one for you to try. Sound K, letter name K, capital lowercase. Give that one a go at home. Let's rub this out. Let's try the next one. We've got 2 more to go. This one, the sound it makes is L. L. Letter name L. L. Okay, and you can see we've got a picture of a leg right here. And all you do is down the long leg. Down the long leg. You can see there's a little flick there at the end. Down the long leg. Let's pop that there. Let's try to do the lowercase letter first. So let's go for it. Start at the top line. Down the long leg. Finger space. I'll just do a little flick at the end. Not something like this. Okay? It's not a hook to put a coat on, and it's not a candy cane. It's not Christmas. Mariah Carey's not out yet. Okay, so down the long leg. Down the long leg. Down the long leg. And when we do the capital, it's not much different, to be honest. This bit here is just straight and a bit longer. So you go like this. Down, across. Down, and across. Down, and across. So remember, to do the capital L, it's very rigid. Down, across. But the small one, down the long leg with a little flick on the end. Let's put them both together. Down, and across. Do the lower one, lowercase. Down the long leg. Down and across. Down the long leg. It's another one for you to give a go at home. Excellent. L. Sound is L. Letter name L. Super duper. Let's rub this out. Give that one a go at home. And it's time to practice the last one. Last one of today. Well done for sticking with it so far. Okay. The sound it makes is T. The sound it makes is T. And the letter name is T. T. Flip it over. You can see we've got a picture of a tower. And to write it, you go down the tower, across the tower. Down the tower, across the tower. Let's pop that there. Okay, let's go for it. Start at the top line. Down the tower, across the tower. Finger space. Down the tower, across the tower. Finger space. Down the tower, across the tower. Rightio then. Now let's show you what the capital at letter name T looks like. You're going to go down and across. Look at that. This looks like it's standing nice and tall and proud. Finger space. Down and across. It doesn't have to touch the top line as long as it looks like that and it's taller than the other one. That's fine. Finger space. Down and across. Let's put them both together. Down and across. Down the tower. Across the tower. And I want you to try and go across the tower halfway between the 2 lines. Okay, capital. Down the tower, across the tower. And that was the very last one of today. Give those a go at home. Well done.